Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we have another rose here for you guys. It is the Uetersener Klosterrose from Tantau. And if I had to describe this rose, I would describe it as a mix between Claire Austin, the climber, because this one has about the same shape of bloom, the same color, the same leaves nearly, and also the same height of growth around the 3 meter mark. And I would describe it as Desdemona on the fragrance, because you have this citrus fragrance on the front end, and then you have this damask fragrance on the back end. And the intensity is very similar to Desdemona, these 6.5 to 7 on intensity. So it is about medium to medium light on fragrance. It is a very pleasant fragrance, but you have to dig your nose all the way in there to really get that wonderful citrus note backed up by the damask. So it is not the most powerful scented rose in the world. Now I do prefer this one over Claire Austin, and the reason is simple. This one tends to flower a tiny bit more than Claire Austin, and I also find the fragrance a bit more enjoyable on this one because it has that citrus damask mix, which I find a bit more interesting than the more floral tea mix I sometimes get on my Claire Austin. So I definitely prefer growing this one over my Claire Austin, and I also think this one you can get much cheaper than Claire Austin, because Claire Austin is not a cheap rose to get. But that said, it is not my favorite rose. It is not my favorite climber. If I had to describe it, I would describe it as ordinary, a little bit above ordinary, because it does have a bit of scent, it does do everything decently well. It is one of those roses where you're like, oh, it's ordinary, but it's ordinary plus 5% or something like that. So it is not a rose I'll be telling you guys to go get your car and start driving to get immediately, because what this rose is a very ordinary rose. But one thing I will say about it though is I do think it is a tiny bit better than Claire Austin, and if you're thinking about getting Claire Austin, I actually think this rose might be a better alternative, because Claire Austin doesn't like to bloom that much, and I find the fragrance actually a bit better on this one, and health about the same really. And they're both tall climbing roses around 3 meters mark, the 3 meter mark. But this one I do prefer slightly, because it has that Desdemona fragrance, that light citrus and damask fragrance. But yeah, guys, that was the Uetersener Klosterrose. It is a good rose, but it is kind of middle of the road. Like I said before, it is ordinary plus 5%. It does a little bit more than ordinary, but it is not enough for me to go out there and say you should all buy it, because it is simply not that important. But maybe a good second option if you want to grow something like Claire Austin and you can't find Claire Austin. This one might actually be a better stand-in for you if you've been considering Claire Austin. So yeah, guys, that was the Uetersener Klosterrose from Tantau. Take care out there, guys, and have a wonderful day out there.